Pub Sports Radio is very excited to announce the dates for Pubapalooza 4. The most exciting weekend of the gambling year. Round 1 of March Madness. It's all going down in San Antonio, Texas at the Southtown 101, Thursday the 20th till Sunday the 23rd. It's going down, baby.
Scheduled events every day that weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all going down in Southtown 101. Come hang out with some of your favorite Pub Sports Radio personalities.
I can't wait. Meet us in Texas, baby. It's going down.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for Pub Sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! Here he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoking Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian. Billy Friedrich. Joe's one. They're all coming down the finish.
Coin! Where?
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
from the cloth of Peter Loshak. Legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. For the young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter, and he flipped the script. No competition in this but they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, betting with the bag and you love it. You want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. It's Tuesday, January 14, 2025. Of course, we are catering to the whims of our NHL expert, Mr. Gokster. But, hey, the results speak for themselves. Nailed the fucking golf pick he gave us last week. Didn't you, Mr. Gokster? Unreal, unbelievable.
Easy.
Awesome.
Easy one.
This great pick. So people are like, why do you like to treat this guy like the fucking diva? Well, because he deserves it. That's why. That's your answer, baby. All right, Mr. Gokster. What do you have, like 45 minutes, 30 minutes? What do you have?
Oh, yeah, we got about 40 minutes there. We can rock and roll.
All right. Huge shout out to everyone in the comment section. We got 13 NHL games, matches that we're going to go over today. And then we got golf. Are you going to talk about that, Mr. Gokster?
Yeah, I got a little action there. After 1-0, I could not give it a golf pick, eh?
Okay. Cons Clip says, awesome news today. My daughter just got accepted to Indiana University. Shout out to you, Cons Clips.
Buddy,
Cons
congrats.
Clips. The guy does everything he does in terms of handicapping and still finds time to be an awesome father. Shout out to you, Cons Clips. That is very fucking impressive. It's not easy. It is not easy to be a good parent. I wouldn't have been the worst parent. I don't think I would have had any kids getting accepted to any universities. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
You never know.
You know what I'm saying? My ceiling for kids would have been like Gogi. That would be like the highest I would hope for. No, I'm kidding around, Gogi. All right, let's get into this shit. Huge shout out to talk about good dads. That would be a dad competition I would like to see. Nutflesh 16 against Cons Clips. That'd be like a coin flip. I don't know. Who else we got in the comment section? Oh, and shout out to Ronnie Crawford with his plays of the day. Mississippi State, Ronnie Crawford. I do agree with that. Although I think I am going to take the first half on that one, though. But I agree with that. NBA Dallas, NHL Dallas. That's an interesting set of plays of the day from Ronnie Crawford. Here we go. Let me just copy and paste this, and then we'll get into it. 13 NHL games. Huge shout out to everyone. Stacks play of the day. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Mr. Gokster, the first game on the card. NHL. You ready?
Let's do it.
Tough one. I think I'm going to pass on this one. It's Tampa Bay, Boston. Tampa Bay, of course, is, they're playing better now. They're struggling a bit. And Boston had been really struggling. They did get an OT win at Florida in their last game. And I bet Florida in that one. No mistake. But, Boston is, they had the coaching change. Then they got great results. Then they started to slump again. Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure how to value them right now. I feel like Tampa Bay is clearly the superior team overall, but in this spot, Boston as a home dog, I think it's going to be a pass. Free play, though, I'd probably put it on like Tampa Bay first period coming off. I don't know. That's what I would do. Boston coming off the big win against Florida. I'd probably throw it on Tampa Bay first period as a small favorite, but I think I'm going to pass. What do you like here, if anything?
Yeah, I got to look at probably Tampa Bay. Lines move -110. I'm seeing kind of the open up to almost 135. So money's definitely coming in on Tampa. Special teams advantage here, Tampa Bay guys, 21%, 84% to 15-71. 8-5 also, guys, last 30 days. Lightning are 6-6. The Bruins. Lindholm's still out on defense. Catholics day-to-day. Teams are both pretty much healthy. Watch that last game, though, against Tampa Bay. They just kind of out-muscled them in the third period. There was tied 2-2 and just looked pretty good. I think that was with Johansson as well. So you got a fresh Vasilevsky. His numbers are definitely not as good as they are at home, though, guys. 5-7-1, 880 save percentage, pretty much. 274 goals against, which is decent. But without humming and hawing too much here, guys, I got to lean to the under, Pete, -126. Yeah. Under 6, -120. But it's going to be a no play here. Boston, a little bit. I don't know if there's issues with the captaincy, but there's been a little bit of talks about just Marchand, Justin to being the captain here. And Pasternak, kind of their mainstays haven't exactly been showing up late. They did come off with that nice win, though, like you said, 4-3 against Florida. But before that, just 6 losses in a row. So lean towards Tampa Bay in a lower scoring game. Didn't make the card, though.
Yeah, it has moved. Let me see. How has it moved? Oh, God, all my crap here. It's moved.
Well, yeah, a little bit in Tampa Bay's favor from the first line that I saw. And
Yeah,
we've got, I don't know. Yeah, we got Billy Friedrich, Bolts -1, Action Jackson saying hammer the Lightning.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was thinking that Tampa Bay would be the play here. I don't know. Is that, but that it's just Boston they're not good, but they're kind of, I don't know. They're tough to bet against.
They're tough to bet against. It seems like they do struggle against the tougher teams. So here, just looking at their lineup, though, they got Geeky with Zaka and Pasternak, Marchand on the second line with Elias Lindholm, Charlie Coyle. Called up Vinny Lettieri from Providence. Their bottom two lines all year haven't done a whole lot. They've had to rely on kind of their older legs. They're Morgan Geeky, kind of their spark. On defense too, they could use Lindholm back. And then Wayman hasn't been as promising as he's been in the past. So I lean towards Tigers.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay beat him 2 games ago, so maybe there's revenge. I want to take Tampa Bay, but I'll pass on this one. Next game on the card, Dallas and Toronto. Ron Crawford tells us Dallas is his spreadsheet play of the day, which is interesting. My note on this one is, again, no clue, probably pass, tough one. Dallas obviously better overall, but Toronto, they're off of a shutout home loss where they got booed on their home ice. Dallas, though, they had been rolling. Then they won 7 in a row. Then they lost their last game at Ottawa as a pretty big road favorite. So, yeah, and the line is close to even on both sides. All things being equal, I would rate Dallas as significantly better than Toronto, and they are coming off a loss. But Toronto, they're at home off of a shutout home loss, so it's a pass for me. But a lot of these times when there's a game where I feel like I have no clue, and it turns out that's Ron Crawford's play of the day, that's when his plays are where I'm really thinking most about just blindly tailing it. Because why would he be loving Dallas that much in this case?
That's a good question, Pete. In this game here, guys, I think the scheduling spot, though, that's what really stood out for me in this game, guys. This has been, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is their 5th game since Tuesday. Last Tuesday on the road, had a back-to-back Montreal. Ottawa lost that one against Ottawa. Toronto, too, didn't play very well against that game at home against Vancouver, guys. Lost last one 6-3. This feels like I know they've been lower scoring games of late, guys, but this just feels like an over. Pete, I know the goaltending too. It's decent. You got Ottinger and Wall, but Ottinger he's 7-5, .899 save percentage. Wall 8-3, much better at home. Both these teams' power plays advantage Toronto 25-15, but the special teams have been very good. Some penalty kills, guys. 90% for the Stars, 87 for the Leafs. Marchment, is going to be out for the Stars. They are Sagan also still out. McCabe, Hakanpää, Yarncrook. They got a lot of their main guys in again, the Leafs. I just think it's going to be a fast game here, Pete. I think it's going to be up and down. I don't know how much I just don't know how defensive, to be honest, I'd be expecting out of Dallas here. Coming off that loss, 5th game since Tuesday on the road. Toronto coming off 2 losses. I know special teams are quite good, guys. Like I just said, penalty kills, but I just feel like both these teams, we're going to see a little bit of fireworks here. They also just saw each other recently, Pete. They played on the 18th. It was 5-3 Toronto. The last few games actually have gone over 5-4 back last year on the 7th. So I think this is going to be – I think we're going to see some goals here in this game. So if over 5, -120 is going to be the play here.
Yeah, it is a very low total. Let me see if the line has moved in any way. Yeah, not really from what I first saw. So I don't know. I guess it's going to be a pass for me, but I might, as far as an official play is concerned, definitely pass. But I might tail Ron Crawford's play of the day, liking Dallas and Kelly McInnes. I'm on Dallas -1.5 +210. Look at that. Wow.
Kelly's in Dallas too. Yeah, and the line has moved, I think, a slight bit to Pistol. So I just think Toronto, I don't see Toronto laying an egg here. And then the scheduling spot, I question it a bit for the Stars here. So I would have kind of leaned to the Leafs here, but more the over I like.
And then Slatsy with an interesting Leafs 7-0, last 7 against the Stars, scoring a whole bunch of goals. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the Toronto team total over. I don't know. It's going to be a pass for me, but I might last minute tail Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day on Dallas. All right, next game on the card, San Jose, Detroit. This is this is a tough one. Obviously, Detroit is really rolling after the coaching change. They've won 7 in a row. It's just a different team right now. And San Jose, a young team with a lot of youngsters who have spurts of of good performances. And when that happens, they are wildly undervalued and have great betting value either to win or plus goals or whatever. They've now lost 3 in a row. They seem like they're tiring. They're not scoring. It's a little bit scary to fade them as a huge dog because you never know when those youngsters are going to pop up again and have a good game. And they did, their last game, they lost, but they outshot Minnesota by a big margin. So maybe that means they're going to have another solid game here. If that's the case, then maybe I'd look at the over instead of taking them and fading Detroit, who's obviously on a roll right now. I don't know. Detroit's a big favorite, justifiably so, because they've been winning 7 straight wins right now. And so far, San Jose has not been able to put it together to return to their winning ways. What do you think? Maybe a shot with the over? Detroit's a huge favorite here.
That's actually where I'm going in this game, Pete. I am going the over. I didn't know about the shots on goal, though. That's very impressive against Minnesota. Tough to beat Gustafsson and company. Askarov, too, he hasn't been that bad. He's 0-2-1 on the road, 907 save percentage. They just haven't been scoring there. 1-1-2, 3-2, 0-1-1. So they got to start scoring here. And goaltending-wise, so I don't know what we're going to see. They had the coaching change, Detroit, and since then, Pete, they've lost 1 against Toronto. Then they've ran 7 in a row now. So, and they are scoring as well, allowing some goals in between. Talbot or Husso, don't know who's going to be confirmed. Both
Husso is almost
in. He's 1-3-1 at home with an 867, 3.52. He's definitely susceptible. Special teams, 34% power play Detroit's humming at in the last 30 days, so they are scoring. But the penalty kills, 66% for the Sharks, 72% for the Red Wings. I think there's going to be some goals here in this one, guys. Sharks have been poor, but they got a lot of their mainstays in. Wenberg's out, but they got a lot of their young pieces in there, Pete. So I think we're going to see some goals. Even first period, both teams to score. I didn't play, but I don't mind that. Full game over 6, though, -115 is what I fired on here. I think we'll see a good performance from the Sharks here.
All right. Well, it has dropped a bit. The first line I saw was like 6 over -118. Now it's about 15-cent move to the under. What do you make of that?
Because of Husso, he's very susceptible here, in my opinion. He's just a goalie that hasn't had a lot of starts. And then Talbot on the other side. I just think Detroit's an over team right now. When you got a quick team in the Sharks coming in here that haven't scored, I think we'll see a back and forth hockey game here.
And I'm seeing Georgiev expected for San Jose. He's terrible.
He's cheeks. Yeah, he's just as bad as any goalie in the league right now. So yeah.
All right, I'm going to take a shot with the over, despite the fact, and I'm gonna go down to 5.5 -133. San Jose Detroit over 5.5 -133, and the total has moved a little bit in San Jose's favor as well since the first opening. But okay, let's see. Billy Friedrich says if Askarov is in net, I'll be on Red Wings team total under. Really? Okay, I'm seeing Georgiev. Unconfirmed.
Yeah, I was just saying Askarov has been much better. He's got a 907 save percentage, 3 goals against. That just tells me he's faced a lot of rubber. But if Georgiev's going, that's got to be a fade in my opinion. So I do agree with Billy there.
Let me just check one other. Let me just check one other site here, trying to get information here. Let me see. Now I'm seeing Askarov expected. Okay. Well,
either or. We got a team of the Red Wings. Their power play is 34% right now. They're playing good hockey. Their coaches, fired this team up. So I'm not worried about Detroit scoring if it's Askarov or Georgiev.
All right. Now I'm feeling nervous about it, especially. All right. Ron Crawford tells us Askarov. Yeah. Kelly McInnes likes Detroit -1.5. You know what? I'm going to hold off on the. I'm not going to make that over an official play. It's makes me a little nervous now. All right, next game on the card: Seattle-Pittsburgh. I think this will be an official play. I bet it. I took Pittsburgh. Right? Seattle's been mostly losing. They did get a nice win at Buffalo 2 games ago, but mostly losing. And the Penguins also now mostly losing, but they've overall played some tough opponents, just not good spots. Some teams that are doing well, or good teams, or teams that were surging a bit. So in general. I give Pitt a little bit of a pass for their recent losing ways. Maybe it's a buy low spot on them, relatively low line. I was a little bit surprised and concerned to see the line was so low because Seattle has also been losing. But I took a shot with Pittsburgh. I took a -1 when their money line was like -130 or so. What do you think?
Gee, we've got the A430 flying above here. I don't know if you can hear that. Sorry about that. A little jet going over. But yeah, no, Seattle, Pittsburgh, they're very similar, Pete. I think, Seattle's lost to Detroit, Columbus, New Jersey, Edmonton, Vancouver, and they've all gone over, similar to Pittsburgh. I lean to I didn't lean. I bet this one. I think we'll see some goals here, to be honest. Over 6 minus 112. Bunting is questionable here. Same with Malkin. Jan Gord, he's also, it looks like he's going to be out along with Eberle. But special teams wise, 73%, 72% penalty kills. Power plays, 31% for the Penguins, 20% for the Kraken. They're coming off of, like I said, good teams are playing. They're just having a tough time stopping the puck. And you got two teams here that are kind of surging in a sense. I know Pittsburgh have lost the last few games, but at home here, a spot where they do need to, they can't slip up too much more. Both teams really 18-26, 18-27. Important game for both teams. Looking at goaltending, Yari's 4-4-2, 874 at home. Not the greatest numbers. Decord I have going 7-5, 909 on the road. Sidewise, I'm going to stay off it. I do like the over though, Pete. Over 6 minus 112. Not gonna fade the Kraken here, but I do think Pittsburgh have a good chance to win this one. I think both teams should have some offense here.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is probably going to start off playing well after the Tampa Bay loss, which was actually closer than the final score indicated. They should be able. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was 2-2 going into the third.
But I guess you're so you don't think Seattle is that bad in general?
Well, let's just see. Like they've scored at least 2 goals in every one of their games, Pete. Like dating back to like the last 10 games, they have been scoring. They just have trouble stopping the puck, and Pittsburgh's kind of in that same boat, to be honest. So sidewise, Pittsburgh should win, but they've kind of been struggling of late. Both teams have. Sidewise, I don't want anything to do with it. I think we'll see goals. So both teams close to 3 or 4 goals tonight.
All right, I'll take Pittsburgh -1. The money line right now I'm seeing -135. Puck line +182. I don't really want to take the Pittsburgh team total over at 3.5, but I might take them the old score in the first period at a big favorite line. I will take that one. In fact, I will. I'll shop around a little bit for the best line there, and then tell you what I find. Let's see. Shout out to Nasty Nate. Okay, we got to keep a brisk pace here. Let's move on. Next game, that's a tough one. It'll be interesting to hear your breakdown here. Anaheim and Washington. Anaheim had some life to them for a while, but then their leading scorer went down, and they've been losing a bit since then. But their last game, +400 dog. I think they're on a back-to-back. They got it. And yes, I did have the balls to bet that. Very small, but absolutely I pulled the trigger on that +400. At +310, I probably would have passed.
Went to overtime.
I'm sorry?
Went to overtime too, eh?
I know. At +4, I mean, I bet it like, $1.50 or something like that. But I did have some action on it. And Washington, they're off a win at Nashville. They're kind of alternating wins and losses right now. And Logan Thompson is playing great in goal. And I think he's expected to be in goal, right? Logan Thompson? Yeah, he is. Confirmed. So, Washington, they should win with Thompson in goal. They're very, very good, but it's just tough to. At +400, I take Anaheim again. At like +220, I don't know. Maybe a shot with the under. What do you think? Interesting matchup here.
It is, that good call there with the back-to-back. Carolina's been susceptible for the last 2 years whenever they're a heavy favorite. But this Duck team, they're 8-6-1, but they're doing it 5-on-5. You're talking about their key player they lost. That's Troy Terry, their right winger. They also got McGinn out. Zegers has been out for a while too. So offensively, they're not too deep in the farm system in San Diego either. The power play's humming at only 7% in the last 30 days. Capitals are at 30%. So special teams, heavy advantage. Capitals to get in the power play. Goaltending wise, Dostal, he's a decent goalie. He's got a .919 save percentage. He's always 5-5-5. Lower scoring game could be in the works. That's kind of been their Ducks motto of late, but I do think the Capitals will get this one done, Pete. Thompson has played a lot of hockey though. Since Wednesday, he's played, this will be his 4th game since Wednesday, and they played a back-to-back as well, Friday, Saturday. So I think it'll be a lower scoring game. I don't know how much Washington's going to, I don't know how much they're going to kind of care. Not so much not care about the game, but it is the Ducks. It should be an easy win, they'd probably assume. Lower scoring game, guys. Money line on Washington is going to be a play. It's going to be a 2-team parlay coming up, Pete. But I don't see the Ducks keeping this momentum going against the team of the Capitals, who I think are going to make a push in the playoffs. So,
all right. By the way, I did find Pittsburgh to score in the first period, minus 190. We'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. They should be pissed. They should.
Yeah,
the Caps game, I don't know. Anaheim team total under 2.5. That's tempting. It's going to be a pass for me. Let's see if anyone in the comments section. Let's see. Where? Yeah, Thompson confirmed. I bet Ducks last game. Funny shit from Justin McElvey. Shout out.
Yeah.
All right. Next game on the card. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Philly and Columbus. Here's another one. I bet it. This one a little bit more than $1.50. I'll tell you that. A little bit, not a lot more, but a little bit more than $1.50. I did bet Columbus, Philly and Columbus. Philly's on a back-to-back. They beat Florida yesterday. Very nice. I did not have the guts to take Philly in that one, but I definitely knew to stay off of Florida. I did not bet Florida, even though it seems like you should be trying to time a big bounce back from Florida. I didn't bet Philly, but I stayed off of Florida, and Columbus has been doing great. I have been betting them recently, either team total overs or just to win. They've been mostly as a dog. They've been winning. They've won 4 in a row. And now, they've got a bunch of guys who are out, but the guys who are replacing them are playing well. Now they're going up against Philly on a back-to-back. And I was a little bit surprised to see this line as low as it was. I got it at like minus 111. I took Columbus minus 1, but I think I like it. Let me see where the line is. Wow, so it's moved in Philly's favor. All right, I might be on the wrong side here. I don't know. Columbus is almost even money now. What's going on with this game, Gogi?
Well, you had Merz-Lincoln's expected. They're 11-4. He's been just unbelievable at home. Won his 6 of his last 7 games, but instead they're going with Tarasov there. Danilo Tarasov,
okay.
2-1, 895, 305 at home. This goalie's not nearly as good as expected. But on the other side, he got Kolosov, and I think this guy's one of the worst goalies in the league. 2-3-1, 872. Sorry, I went from Belarus, but he's just not that good. 12% power play for the Flyers, but both these goalies, like I just said, they're quite bad. Back-to-back last night from the Flyers. I think both teams are going to come out and score in the first period, guys. Injury report, though, for the Blue Jackets is starting to add up here. Monahan, Danforth, Aston Reese, Shinnikov, Jenner's still out. They've called up Luka Del Bell, Belarus, what a name. From the Columbus farm team there, centering the third line. Bigger player, but still doesn't have a lot of ice time in the NHL. So I kind of lean to actually, I don't lean to anybody in the side here. I would go goals, guys. This should be a high-scoring game. First period, both teams to score, plus 155. I had Columbus question mark, but I'm not going to play it with those 2 goalies, Pete. And then even a full game over. They've already played twice this year, I know, and they were, 5-4 and 5-3. Philly won both of those games. So the goals are going to be live here, guys. Probably one of my favorite overs on the card here. First period, both teams to score. And honestly, I probably should add the full game over 6.5, but as of now, just the first period.
A little weirdly, it seems like it hasn't moved much, but a little bit of movement to the under. I think the first line I saw was like 6.5, kind of like 115. Oh, no. Right. You're sorry. That was to the under. Okay. So it's moved a little bit to the over. You're right. Which makes sense with Tarasov. All right. I'll tell you what I will do. I'll take a shot with the first period over. Oh, wow. Minus 135. Look at that. Yeah.
It's not bad.
I will take a shot with that. Maybe not though. Let me think about what I want. How bad is that goalie for Columbus? He's that bad?
Tarasov, let me just see. When was his last game? Tarasov's not. They got a couple guys. Tarasov's like him and the other backup. They go back and forth. He's 3-6-1, 857 save percentage. Pete, my God, 4.23 goals against in 10 games. Like him and Kolosov going. Like these are 2 AHL goalies if I've ever seen them. In my opinion, there. Battle of the Sovs.
Yeah, you damn Skippy. All right, I'll take Columbus anyway. I think they've got a good. I trust them. I don't really trust Philly off of a win. I'm going to take Columbus -1. The money line to -103. The puck line plus 222. And I think you're right. I'd love to take the first period over 1.5 at -135, or maybe just take the full game over 6 -139. I'll take that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
First period, I would have thought you'd say -160, 150. I'm surprised it's only 135.
Yeah, a little weird there, but I will take. All right, I'm going to take the. I'm going to be a little bit safe here. I'm going to take the over 6 -139. Philly Columbus over 6 -139. And what's the? Let me see. Yeah, the Columbus team total. All right, let's look at the comment section and then we'll move on. Andrew G says Columbus wins this game 6-5. Oh, maybe I should sell up to 10.5 then. Jeez.
It could be an alt. It could be an alt line today in that game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 6-5, 5-4.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay. Next game on the card. Let's move to it. Florida, New Jersey. Here we go. Yep. Florida continues to lose. I've had a few losers trying to time a bounce back from them, but I've also stayed off a bunch of their losses as well. They've now lost 2 in a row, both close, but still they're on a back-to-back. Lost at Philly yesterday. They've lost 6 out of their last 9. The roster is still mostly the same as last. This should be a good team, right? Just before I continue my preview, Florida, is there any reason to think that they suck a little bit now? No, right?
Well, Ekblad has been out there, and then Gadjevich, but Ekblad on defense, one of their captains, assistant captains. So that's hurt him a little bit defensively.
All right. Well, New Jersey, they were struggling on their road trip. They did win their first game back in overtime against Tampa Bay, and now they're a pretty big favorite against Florida. And the question here is just exactly how bad or not bad is Florida right now? I'm tempted to take them first period here at a dog line. What do you think, Gogi?
Spencer Knight going 4-3-1, 871 save percentage, 339 goals against. That's the question. I don't know how good Knight's going to be here. On the other side, Markstrom, he's 11-2-2 at home, 900 save percentage, 2.12 goals against. Defensively, this team Devils, they've been playing well, just haven't been scoring, coming back home. And I believe when I was looking at their home numbers here, they beat Tampa Bay, and then on a long road trip where they didn't play too well. But before that, 4-2 win against Carolina, 5-0 against the Rangers, 3-0 against Pittsburgh, all at home. And he got Florida on a back-to-back. No Ekblad again. I had to take the Devils here, guys, on a money line. It's with the parlay with the Capitals. So Washington and New Jersey Devils tonight going to be the 2-team banger, plus 128, Pete. I just think the Devils got him in a good spot here. And then without Ekblad, they seem like they've been able to start defensively. They've been 4 goals against Boston and Philly. I think the Devils can score at least 3 or 4 tonight too. So give me the better goaltending too right now. Devils.
Okay, shout out to Old E listening. Shout out to Old E. All right, I'm tempted to take a shot. With Florida first period. I don't know what is up with this team. I know Spencer Knight sucks, but that roster should be productive. Florida, right?
It should be. I was looking at it. They had for Hagee, I saw the third line with Lundell and Jesper Bokvist. So they're kind of moving their lines around a little bit. Rodriguez on the first. I'm going to stay off Florida. I don't know if they're really
okay.
Bad.
All right, I'll stay off. Next game, Ottawa Islanders. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to pass. Lean Ottawa, I guess, as a dog. Ottawa's off of 2 nice wins after a run of losing, and the Isles returned from a short trip, the West Coast. They won all 3 games on that trip, and I don't know. I was thinking I'm probably going to pass, but free play, I'd probably throw it on Ottawa first period as a dog.
Well, in this game, I'm trying to just quickly see the injuries because this is a long injury report for both teams. Starting here, we got Reinhart called him up from Belleville. He's now injured. Amadio centerman, Perron left wing. He's been out for a while. Gregor's out. JBD on defense is out. Still have Hamonic out, and then Allmark's still banged up. On the Islanders, they got Romanov, defenseman. George, another defenseman. Holmstrom, right wingers questionable. Varlamov, Foshing, and then Riley. So I know the farm team for Belleville right now, a lot of them have been called up, including a Highmore there on the 4th line. I think the Islanders are going to get them here, to be honest. Their power play special teams has been awful. Get this. Last 30 days, Pete, they haven't scored a power play goal, the Islanders. They have 0% power play, 65% penalty kill. Yeah, it's been poor. But we're going to have pretty much 2 goalies that have played for Belleville here. It's Merlinen, the backup for both Allmark and their other goalies slipped my mind. But then they're not going with Sorokin. They're going with Hogberg. This guy's bounced around the league a little bit, Pete, but he's now on the Islanders, 2-1-1 record, 950 save percentage, 156. He's been a bright spot for this hockey team. And then Merlinen, he's been decent. Big Finnish goalie that the Senators got now, 3-2, 911 save percentage on the road. Lower scoring game could be in the works, but I think the Islanders are going to get him here. The line's only minus 113 on the Islanders. I expect it to be a little bit higher. It has been going in Ottawa's favor, but I think there's too many injuries right now for Ottawa. There are for the Islanders, but I think they're just a bigger. They're going to be a little more physical on Ottawa here, And I actually rather Hochberg than Merlinen, even though Merlinen's looked pretty good of late.
Okay. No reason to force it. I'll pass. Next game on the card, Calgary, St. Louis. Tell me about Calgary, Mr. Gokster. Calgary's on a back-to-back. They rolled Chicago yesterday. I took the Chicago team total over yesterday, lost with that one. And then when they went down by 2 goals, I took them plus 2.5, lost with 2.5 even money, Chicago. Wow. And I lost with that one. Calgary, they've won 3 in a row. I know they have some positives to them, but are they a good team right now? And St. Louis, they're off a home loss as a minus 200 home favorite against Columbus. But again, they've been pretty good recently. Big favorite line here for St. Louis. And I guess my thought is just what's up with Calgary? Are they pretty good now? Is Calgary better than Florida? What's up with Calgary?
They're an unpredictable team, Pete. Last night, that big win, I don't see them being a team where they're going to momentum's going to come over, follow them the next game in a back-to-back too. They had Wolf going. That was their win. They're going Vladar tonight. Binnington too. His numbers are quite poor. He's actually better on the road than at home. I don't know how long that's going to hold up. I think Binnington's he's a fine goalie at home, to be honest. And then special teams wise, slight advantage to the Blues, not much. 18 to 20% advantage the Blues, their power play, and then 64% penalty kill for the Blues last 30 days, 71% for the Flames. I just think this spot here, coming off the loss from St. Louis 2-1 in that game, I think they're a little bit healthier too. Zari's out, key centerman for the Flames. The back-to-back too. Chicago's much easier to play against than the St. Louis is going to be. I actually don't mind St. Louis's defense. They added Cam Fowler as well. This is going to be a regulation St. Louis play. I just think they're a better hockey team. Got them in a back-to-back spot with their backup Vladar going, who's not been the greatest road goalie. So give me St. Louis here, Pete, in regulation.
No, that's what I was thinking about. But before I pulled the trigger on it, I was like, maybe I'm significantly or wildly underestimating Calgary right now.
Calgary's playing a little bit above their belt, I think, a little bit. They also had that mom's trip someone brought, I think it was you, where they looked really good in that mom's trip. So I think they're a very Jekyll and Hyde hockey team. All
right. I should probably take them minus 1.5, but I'm going to take St. Louis. I'll take St. Louis minus 1. Money line is minus 166. Puck line plus 151. So that'll be a tiny favorite line there for St. Louis minus 1. And we'll see how it turns out. Let's see what people in the comments section. Robert Franklin, Blues regulation. Billy Friedrich, I like Blues here at home. North Ender, Blues for me. Okay.
Line's moving in our favor too.
Line's moving in our favor. All right. Okay. And Nutflesh 16, Pete, what can you get on the Blues team total over? Yeah, I mean, 3.5 at plus money. You could probably buy down to 3 at a decent favorite line there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel that way. Like St. Louis is going to, I mean, they've definitely, I'll stick with just St. Louis minus 1 for now.
They've scored 4 goals in their last 6 games, except for that last one against Columbus. So they have been scoring. I like that team total over, actually.
All right. Another one not coming up now that is one I'm going to pass on, but I'm very interested to hear your analysis and the analysis from the comments section to inform me on future games with both of these teams. Vegas on the road at Nashville. Nashville's a small home dog. Vegas, of course, had a couple losses at home. They're awesome, obviously, but they're going to lose their games here and there, and they did lose 2 at home. Then they came back and beat Winnipeg in their last game, and now they're going on the road at Nashville. Nashville, of course, had a disappointing season, and they got a couple wins, but now they're off of 2 margin losses. And they lost bad to Washington, another one of those losses where they outshot them 2-1, but they still lost by 3 goals. I don't know. I have a little bit of a hard time getting a read on Vegas on the road and Nashville in general. So what's your read on this one, Bogey?
Yeah, Nashville, bunch of frauds. I don't know how, the line's minus 110 on this team, and they're one of the worst teams in the league. But, 5-6-1 their last 30 days. Vegas are 10-4. Special teams pretty much a wash. But injury-wise, they got Evan Glista. I'm butchering his name, but right winger for the Nashville Predators. He's going to be out. Also, Lazan. Old Willsby still out, Pete. Cole Smith's also out for this team. I just think Vegas is a better hockey team. Defensively, they're the top 3 defense in the NHL here, in my opinion. I lean to the first period under. Goaltending-wise, Samsonov, I have here. Samsonov, 5-1-1 on the road, 902. They've been winning with him on the road. Soros 6-7-3, 902, 264. Should be a lower scoring game, but I'm going with Vegas here, man. They finally got that win after not too bad losses at home against both New York teams. Nice 4-1 win. They're a good hockey team where I think that's going to carry over. A lot of their mainstays are healthy too. Just Eichel, he's out, but other than that, they're completely healthy. The line is a little questionable why it's only minus 113 at FanDuel, but I'm going to fire on Vegas here. If it loses, it loses. But this Nashville team they're just not that good. And defensively, I think give me Vegas all day here.
All right, it's gonna be a pass for me. Andrew G says what I was gonna say. What I was thinking. Nashville sucks. Yeah, and Vegas. Redbeard CLC likes Vegas. Robert Frank likes Vegas money line. You got a legit awesome team against a team that probably legit sucks, and a very, very small road favorite line. So I'm going to pass on this one. Billy Friedrich is off this game as well. All right, next game on the card, another interesting one. I'll tell you what I was thinking about doing, and you tell me what you think, Mr. Goatser. Vancouver and Winnipeg. Vancouver, of course, had mostly been losing, but they are off of that 3-zip win at Toronto, the game we talked about earlier. Toronto got booed off their home ice, getting shut out at home. That was to Vancouver, but in general, Vancouver has been losing. And Winnipeg, a great team. They get their losses here and there. They had been slumping a little bit, but they're off of a shutout home win against Colorado. Winnipeg, you knew was going to be a big fave here. Not huge, but they turned out to be pretty big in the minus 160s or so. And Vancouver also this year has been much better on the road than at home. Still, though, I was thinking maybe a shot with at least Vancouver not to score in the first period, if not team total under. I don't know. Winnipeg, a pretty big favorite here. Total is very low, of course, as you would expect. And the question, I guess, is just what do you make of Vancouver right now? They're coming off the 3-zip win at Toronto. Are they a pretty good team on the road or not really?
Yeah, they've been pretty bad, really. They look here quickly. 4-game road trip. This is now their 5th game on the road. They lost to Montreal, Washington, and Carolina. Finally got the win against Toronto. Now going all the way out to Winnipeg, and it is the last game of the road trip. Tough game. I'm going to stay off this one. Demko is coming off rest there. They started their backup Lankinen last game. Special teams, though, the Jets are humming at 38% on the power play right now. 85% penalty kill, though, for the Canucks, which does help. I tried to take the Jets here. I leaned the Jets, but didn't make my card here. Joshua is questionable. He could be back tonight. Hronik's still out for the Canucks. Nemestikov for the Jets. He's out. Appleton, Miller, Fleury. So they got a couple defensemen out, a couple centermen for the Jets. Should be a lower scoring game. Not going to play this one. Kind of agree with what you and everyone's saying in the chat. Canucks team total over makes some sense too.
Canucks team total over?
Under.
Oh, under. Yeah. All right. I will. It's a very, very low total. Let me see where the line has moved. It's moved. Yeah, very, very small move in Vancouver's favor, and a move to the under, even with the low opener. The first line I saw was like 5.5 minus 120. Now it's down to like minus 130. All right. I'm going to take a shot. Vancouver, no goal in the first period, plus 106. Vancouver, no goal in the first period, plus 106. We'll see. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. I like it. I'm going to root that on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the comment section and move on. Billy Friedrich on the Canucks team total under. Kelly McGinnis on Winnipeg minus 1.5. All right. Next game on the card, Rangers, Colorado. The Rangers were terrible for a while, and I auto-faded them a few times successfully during that run. They've been better of late. They've been winning some high-scoring games, some low-scoring games. Colorado, they're back home. They lost 2 out of 3 on their road trip. Now they're coming back home, and Colorado, as they always do, have a bunch of injuries. They're not fully healthy yet, but they're still a great team. They're still great at home, and they're a big favorite here, though. So I don't know. My instinct is it's a good Colorado spot, but it is a high line. They're not fully healthy. Rangers have been notably better of late, so I guess it's gonna be a pass for me. What's your take on this one, Gogi?
Yeah, this is going to be a lower scoring game, I think, Pete. Hedl and Kreider are both day-to-day, or at least they're not going to be in. Nichushkinen's out for the Avalanche. Gerard, some big names on each team here. Wood's still out. Penalty kill, too, for the Avalanche is at 89% the last 30 days. Both power plays, Pete, 13% and 15%. So not doing a lot on special teams here. Shesterkin 7-7 on the road with a .924 save percentage. That just tells you they can't score on the road. Despite him playing very well. And then Blackwood, 8-1, .929 save percentage. 6.5 minus 122 I fired on Pete. I think I'm surprised this isn't like a 6 or even closer to 5.5. I like the lower scoring game here, under 6.5 minus 122.
Yeah, it's actually gotten bet up since the opener. The first line I saw was like 6, juice to the over, and now it's up to 6.5. Almost even on, not quite, but slightly juice to the under. But all right, it's an interesting game. Going to be a pass for me. Not seeing anyone in the there. Kelly McGinnis. Rangers stink. Colorado -1.5 plus 140. The Rangers definitely stank. 2 weeks ago. Do they stink now, Mr. Gokster?
They got some stank to them still. They're a little
Yeah.
lingering stank still from the Rangers. So I don't think they want to get into a high-scoring battle against the Avalanche either. So feels like a lower game to me.
Yeah, stink can linger. A lot of times something stinks and you get rid of it. The smell is still there for quite a while. I don't know. Did the Rangers still stink? I thought I was like, I mean, when they were stinking, I was like, I am auto-fading this team. And in fact, I told friends about it until further notice. And then the further notice came. So I stopped.
This might be a sign that they don't stank anymore if they can win this game, but I still think they got some lingering stank.
Yeah.
The Rangers.
All right, let's move on. And now another team that has been great for a while that I have been betting on is Montreal. And this line I don't understand. So you tell me. Montreal playing great, right? They are off a home loss, but it was an OT loss to Dallas as a +200 dog. So they're still getting undervalued even in their last game on a loss. And now they're going up against Utah, mostly been losing. Right, they've lost 2 of 3 on their current homestand. The one win was over San Jose. They won 2-1 as a -250 favorite or whatever. And now you got Utah as like a -145, -150 favorite against Montreal. I know that Utah can be a tough place to play, but since Montreal's been playing well, they got to win at Colorado, win at Vegas, wins at Florida, wins everywhere. And I just don't get it. I like Montreal here. First period, maybe team total over, score in the first period. But I don't understand the line, and that's always a big red flag, a big warning sign. Why is Montreal this big of a dog to Utah? It makes no sense.
Yeah, who's making these lines? Because I don't get this one either. There's 14 days in their 2025. This is the biggest head scratcher I've seen. The line has dropped a bit though, Pete. I'm seeing from the opener. Whoever, maybe the guy gets fired for making this line because they're 9-3-1. They're a healthy hockey team. On the other side here, Vejmelka or whatever you want to call them, 3-6-2, 914 save percentage. They can't score right now. The Utah 5-on-5 here. They scored 1-2, 1-2, 5, 1-2, 1-2. Like they scored 5 against Calgary. That was the only game they showed up for. On the other side, Montreal, they're scoring 3-5-2. 2-3-5-4 4-5. Like they're putting the puck in the net. Healthy hockey team right now. Both power plays are at 23 and 25%, 84, 86% penalty kills. This line, I'm going to take the Canadians. You call it a sucker line, and maybe it's the old bait and switch, but I'm on Montreal money line +136, Pete, at FanDuel. I had to take it at this line. Yeah, you could say they're going to show up Utah, but Gunther there, right winger, he's going to be out. Marino's out. Durzi's out. Bertuzzo. So that's 3 defensemen there. He might come back, but they're missing 3 defensemen too. And this Montreal team's a fast hockey team. Both these teams are very similar in style, actually, if you ask me, Pete. Kind of a smaller, quicker hockey team, younger team in both of them. So give me the hotter team, though, that are healthier. Montembeault, he is a little shaky on the road. Maybe that's why they think they're susceptible. But give me Montreal here, +136.
All right, well, I'll start with Montreal to score in the first period, -144. I'm seeing that. Yeah. And, I mean, a lot of times when a team is systematically undervalued or overvalued, as has been the case with Montreal, then these head-scratching lines you should bet into. If it's a different team that hasn't been overvalued or undervalued, then you think about it 2 or 3 times. But let me see.
Really quickly, they beat Florida, Tampa Bay, Vegas, Colorado, Washington. Like those are all playoff teams in the last 15 days. So unless they just think they're going to crash and burn here, it's really questioning why maybe just the bookmakers don't like Canada and Montreal. That's the only thing I can think of.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Montreal first period goal, -144, right? Okay. And I'm going to take Montreal -1. Montreal -1. The money line that I'm seeing right now, +131. The puck line is at -1.5. Will be +316. There you go, baby.
Let's go, Loshak.
So if they get shut out, okay, I will. That's how you know when you've made a bet that was appropriate. If you think about it, if this loses, how will I feel? I'll be like, I believe I made the right decision anyway.
Wow.
What a crazy game here.
That's how you take advantage. Sorry to cut you off. That's how you take advantage of a line like that, I guess, AP. You really think it's wrong? Well, we're going to double down and take the -1 +3. What if 16? You said that's savvy. I like that. Savvy.
Sure. I don't know. Billy Friedrich liking the Habs money line. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but okay. I will not overthink it. Actually, the Montreal line, I'm going to give myself 134, and the puck line, plus 316. All right. So, do you want to? That's it for NHL. Do you want to? You have another golf play for us, Mr. Gokster?
Oh, yeah, I'll be quick here. I got to go in the next couple of minutes, guys. But we're a little golf TGL, real fun last week there. Hit the Bay easy cash for 9-2 win. This week we got LA Golf Club versus Jupiter Lynx. Tiger's going to be there, so all you Tiger fans. Tiger, Kisner, and Homa on the one side. Then LA's got Rose, Morikawa, and Thigala. Fleetwood sitting for LA. Tom Kim sitting for Jupiter. But in this match here, guys, I think they're one of the weaker teams. They're bogey avoidance. LAGC's number 1, Jupiter's last. So they're going to – Tom Kim's one of the better players sitting, too, for Jupiter. Only advantage I have for Jupiter is going to be on the par 3s, birdie or better. So give me I define the value, guys. I'm going with LAGC after 9 holes. So they're going to pretty much do alternate shot for the first 9. I expect LAGC to be up after 9 holes, and they're going to do matchups for the last 6. So -105, LAGC, lead after 9 holes, should be at most of the books there. And then going back to the hockey here quickly, here's the recap of the picks. Washington Capitals, New Jersey Devils, +128 moneyline parlay. Seattle Pittsburgh, full game over 6, -112. Sharks Red Wings, full game over 6, -115. Big card today. Flyers Blue Jackets, love the over here. First period, both teams to score +155. Another over, Stars Leafs over 5.5, -120. Islanders -113 on the money line. Vegas -113 on the money line. St. Louis regulation -110. Full game under 6.5 in the Rangers Avalanche, -122, 6.5. And then Montreal, let's cash this one, guys, +136 on the money line.
Mr. Gokster. Go ahead. All right. So that's it for NHL. I will review my official plays. And it's an interesting card. I'm taking the Penguins, Pittsburgh, -1 +120, and the Pens to score in the first period, -190. I'm taking Columbus, -1 +159, and the Columbus game over 6, -139. St. Louis, -1, -106. Vancouver, no goal in the first period, +106. Montreal Canadiens, first goal in the first period, -144, and a big shot with Montreal, -1 at a big, huge dog line there. And that's it for NHL. Let's see what else. Oh, there you go. Jose Bouquett, how you doing, pal?
Doing well. I like your jacket.
Oh, thank you it's silver, kind of K-pop, a little, my fashion, a lot of influences. Sure.
Yeah. When you say K-pop, I get a little scared and I have a nervous shudder down my back, but it looks great.
Thank you very much. Nothing wrong with little K-pop. Little K-pop never hurt anybody. You know what I mean?
No, none of them. But Pete, we roll on. NBA?
Yeah.
Little NBA action. It's going to be fun. Again, we remind everyone real quick, Pubapalooza 4 coming up here very shortly. Our guy Peter Loshak will be there rocking his Pubapalooza 3 shirt right there. Pubapalooza 4 will be live here very shortly, so make your plans. And someone that I hope to see at Pubapalooza 4 is the one, the only, getting bills with Billy Brisbane. Billy, how are you?
A little bit annoyed here, man. I got the desktop problems and it is slowing me up from doing what I need to do today, which is make some money with my boy Loshak here, because I did not have that good of a Monday 1 and 2. But shout outs to the guys on the channel. Sometimes when you have a cold day, you let your brother-ins get you to the window there. Shout outs to Dutch with the Detroit Pistons basketball and Wham Bam with the LA script. End up making my money back. So we move on to today.
All right, everyone get ready for NBA. Now, as you know, Billy Brisbane, in general, I feel uncertain about NBA. I rarely bet it big. I usually don't bet too much pregame, certainly not before I hear what other people have to say. There is one game on the card today that I slammed. You probably already know what it is. I don't even have to tell you what it is. You know what it is. We'll get to it in a second. And we'll see if you agree. You ready to go, Billy?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go.
It actually is the first game on the card that we're going to cover. Cleveland, Indiana, right? Now, I don't know if I'm just made a sucker bet here, but Cleveland have been awesome ATS. They've now lost 2 in a row. The last one was the first of the home and home with Indiana, right? They were at home. Indiana blew them out. Now, the Pacers have been great ATS as well. They've covered, 6 in a row. They've been covering. So I don't like to fade that kind of a team. But Cleveland, an elite team on the second of a home and home, coming off of a home blowout loss. Of course, I took Cleveland first half -4. The first line I saw was 6.5 on the full game. Now it's up to 8. Halliburton's, I believe, is going to be out for Indiana as well. Also lean over, Cleveland team total over. But is there any reason not to think Cleveland comes back and rolls here? What do you think?
I did not see myself on mute here. Yeah, these two teams just played a few days ago where the Cavs won via blowout 108-93. It was only a second home loss for Cleveland this season. But you add that Halliburton getting hurt in the last game and being out for this one. And I feel like we're kind of paying an inflated line here at -8.5. I feel like this line should be more 5.5, 6. So I guess you could say there's value on the Pacers, but the total doesn't really make sense to me as the first meeting finished at 201, and then you take Halliburton off the floor. I guess they're saying the Pacers are going to push the pace, but not having their point guard, I feel like is going to lead to some unwarranted turnovers and some bad possessions down the stretch here. But I lean towards Cleveland money line, -6, Indiana Pacers team total under. But I actually think if you like the Pacers here in this spot, I think there's going to be a little bit of value here on Andrew Nembhard replacing Halliburton. His point prop is only 12.5 tonight. Without Halliburton in the lineup, he's gone over his point prop in 6 out of his last 7 games with Halliburton out and Siakam in with a 20% usage rating in 6 out of 7 of those games. And he's gone over his point prop in 6 out of his last 8 games that he's had over a 20% usage rate. So I like Andrew Nembhard here over his point prop.
Okay. And I don't think I heard you say, yeah, of course, Cleveland first half -4. Of course.
I do. You took that. I forgot about that spot, Pete. I actually do think the first half is a really good spot. I think the first half could be arguably better than the full game to make a case for it. Could be one of those games where Cleveland gets out to a hot start. Then we see the backdoor cover, TNT game here, national television game. You know they're not going to want to give us free money. Free money's never in this business.
Right. You're right. Or when they are giving you free money, it's because they're taking your money much bigger in some other way. All right. I would love to take the first half money line, Cleveland -130, -232, but I won't do that. I'll just take -4, -118, current line. -115. Cleveland first half -4, -115. If it loses, okay. And then, yeah, I was thinking about the over, and I was thinking about the Cleveland team total over. What do you think about that? General thoughts, Billy Brisbane, if any.
I agree with you, but I really like the Andrew Nembhard prop. Like, 12.5 points is a really low line for him. It's either going to be him or TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell's points and assists are already going through the roof here. Not through the roof, but yeah, 16.5 line for TJ McConnell's points and assists is a little bit too high. I really feel like that Nembhard 12.5 isn't going to close at 12.5. I'll tell you that.
All right. And you don't, you think taking the Cleveland team total over would kind of be pushing it, and then like maybe they'll like win the first half, but then I just break even because I stupidly added on a team total that I shouldn't have done?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could win, but I would just go with the winner. And I think the winner here is Cleveland first half. And if you're going to double up, I would go Cleveland double result. So if you do cash the first half, it's like you already cashed the first leg of your parlay.
Yes. AOD says, I love you, mofos. Thank you very much, AOD. We mofos love you back. Oh, boy. All right. Well, I'll definitely take a Cleveland first half. And I want to take the first half team total over 59 as well. Maybe I'll add it on at the end of the show. It's just such an obvious spot, man. It really is an obvious. All right, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Cleveland first half team total over 59 -115. I'll shop around to see if I can get a little bit better somewhere else, but I will take that one. Cleveland first half team total over.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We'll see how it turns out. Next game on the card, OKC Philly. Man, OKC, awesome ATS, right? Last 18 games, 15-2-1 ATS, depending on what number you're looking at. And Philly, of course, 4 straight losses, coinciding perfectly with Embiid being out. Embiid out for 4 straight games, 4 straight ATS losses for Philly, and he is not expected for this one either. So Philly's a massive underdog here at home. 11.5 is what I saw. And I don't know. It's just OKC's off a 40-point win, though. So maybe it's a letdown spot for them, or they are a little bit complacent here. But you got Philly with no Embiid, losing everything ATS with him out. You got OKC covering almost everything against everyone. I don't know. Is OKC a no-brainer?
I would say even though the spread's creeping up to double digits, it kind of makes sense given the situation. OKC 12-6-1 ATS on the road, 11-1-5 as road favorites, and they're 9-5 ATS when favored by 10 or more points. The form of the Sixers have been improving, but the injuries are just piling up for them night by night. Both defenses have been playing well, with OKC limiting teams to 104.2 points per game in their last 4 games, and Philadelphia 106.5 points per game in their last 5 games. OKC is 18th ranked in 3-pointers, while Philadelphia is ranked 24th. Granted, you would think the pace would pick up with Embiid off the floor, but I think the offensive efficiency numbers here for Philadelphia 76ers are going to be a huge concern, as OKC is one of the best defensive teams that we've seen in a while. I think this game goes under the 218 total here. That's definitely one I'm going to get to the window to probably sooner rather than later here. It's going to be the under. One of my favorite bets of today's card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. Taking the under. Maybe I'm certainly not going to add that as an official play because I didn't think of it, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, OKC, they're off that huge win. Are they going to run up the score here? Probably not, right?
Yeah, and then on the other hand, if you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, man, it is really the Tyrese Maxey show and everybody else. We might not have Caleb Martin for this game. He's listed as questionable. We have Yabusele down there. Paul George is playing center. I'll repeat that again. Paul George is playing center.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Wu Rizza says Sixers team total under. Maybe that's even better than the
Nah, I think this game just goes complete under. Like but I do feel you though. If this game goes under, it's because the Sixers didn't hit their team total. I don't think the Sixers crack 100 points in this game. Like if we're gonna lose by ETS margin, this game's gonna go under. And even if we do win this game, it ain't about to be no crazy high scoring game. If we win this game because we actually play defense for once. I just feel like this totals out of the totals on the card today. This is the lowest one on the board besides Brooklyn and Portland. So I think this one goes under.
That makes sense for me. Billy Friedrich likes Hartenstein double digits and Robert Franklin over 11.5 rebounds. What do you think about that? Yeah.
I would lean off the player props in this game because if they blow them the fuck out, why would Hartenstein play more minutes?
Yeah.
They can easily put in Kendrick Williams against anybody against the Sixers. Probably matches up well. And I'm not a look ahead spot type of guy, but damn, Thursday they play Cleveland. I would imagine if they go up by ATS, they're going to bench their starters.
Yeah, you're right. 2-3 says Embiid is whack. That's a little bit of a strong word there, but okay, maybe it's legit. All right, next game on the card. Another kind of rematch game, Phoenix and Atlanta. Phoenix, generally overvalued, but they've been a strong undertrender. They're playing great defense recently, and Atlanta, their last game was a loss at Phoenix, and then some games were canceled, so this is their next game. Phoenix has played in between that game. Atlanta's a pretty decent-sized home dog here. They continue to struggle without Jalen Johnson, who will be out. But I'm thinking that, I don't know, at least first half, maybe Atlanta. How much better is Phoenix than Atlanta right now?
I wouldn't say that much, but I mean, Phoenix, after a slow start, they've definitely been picking it up in the last week. Winners of 4 of their last 5 games. Still, Phoenix has has the worst ATS record in the NBA, 13-24 ATS. But I think that number's due for some positive regression, as we saw this game last week in Phoenix, where Phoenix was able to cover that line, win the game by 8 points. Atlanta's defense has just been horrible, 18th in the NBA in defending the 3-point, and for the Phoenix Suns, and then the Hawks are dead last in NBA in 3-point defense. Phoenix has allowed 119 points in their last 3 games. Atlanta has scored 114 points in their last 3 games. The first meeting between these two teams looked like it was sailing over the total. Like it looked like it was, if I'm not to be mistaken by visual memory, it's like 70 to 62 at halftime, I believe, because I was at the casino for this one. And that game went under. Trae Young's questionable for this one. I would like for him to be in the move on the total, but if he's out, I think this total is going to come down a little bit. But these defenses are really bad. I think this game goes over the total.
I'm assuming he's in because there's been a move to Atlanta. The first line I saw was 5. Now it's down to 3. There's no way that move would happen if he was out, right?
Yeah, I would lean towards over the total then, over 234. Granted, you take out Jalen Johnson, it's a little bit of a hit for Atlanta. But I lean towards Atlanta plus the 5.5. But they're going to cover this 5.5. It's going to be a fucking track meet. Atlanta's not winning any of these games that are going under like that much. So I gotta. If I think Atlanta's going to be live in this one, I gotta lean towards the over. But another side of me doesn't want to fade the plan of like I want to bet the Suns in the next couple of weeks because their ATS numbers are a little bit wild.
Yeah, well, to anyone who got 5 or 5.5, congrats, because you can't get it now. It's down to 3.
So Trae Young's definitely in.
Yeah. All right. I would love to take a shot with Atlanta first half, but I'm not going to do it. I might bet Atlanta second half if they're down big at the half. We'll see. Let's see. Sportsman of the Year likes Phoenix first quarter, -1.5. And Irish King likes Phoenix first half, -2.5. And Robert Franklin liking the Phoenix. Wow. Everyone liking Phoenix here. Look at that.
I mean, it's hard not to like Phoenix with the way
Sure.
the fuck Atlanta has been playing, but
Sure.
I just think you bet the over here. Take the over on the points of Trae's in.
Okay. Going to be a pass for me. Next game on the card, New Orleans and Chicago. And New Orleans is suddenly getting healthy, and they're suddenly getting some nice performances. I don't know how long their undervaluation in the market will last, but they're off of 2 big margin road covers. Now here's another road game going up against Chicago, though. In Chicago, they've been covering as well. They are off of an ATS loss, or no, an ATS win. It was a close one, 5-point home loss. But Chicago in general has been covering. The New Orleans now suddenly that with health. They're getting big margin road covers. Is that going to continue again? I was thinking maybe New Orleans team total over. So I don't know if they're going to win, but New Orleans team total over. They've got some mojo right now, even if it's just very short term. They've got something, right? Hey, Brizze. Hey, Brizze.
My bad. My bad. I was over from my laptop to my desktop.
Okay.
Oh, God. Giving me some problems. Remember, I told you from the beginning.
I know.
Computer.
I'd be panicking.
No, I'm here. Even with BI and Jones out, I feel like the Pelicans are actually healthy compared to where they were a month ago. It's just they haven't been really gelling too much. I mean, losers 7 of their last 10 games. Yeah, they've been covering some spreads, but for the year, they're still 3-16 straight up on the road this year. I feel like the Bulls were an afterthought in the beginning of the season, but the disappointments in the Eastern Conference so far, they've been able to take advantage of it. Winners of 5 of their last 8 games, covering the spread in 6 of those with only a pick 'em. Kind of feels like there's a little bit of value here in Chicago, but overall, I don't think I need to be betting this game. If I did, I would lean towards Zach LaVine over 2.5 3-pointers as a player prop. He's been looking like one of the best players in the league right now.
Okay, yeah. Well, Robert Franklin likes Pelicans first half. Team totals 119.5 for New Orleans.
Remember when the Pelicans first half was an ATM machine last year, and we were just blinded at it or missed those days.
It's just Chicago's. I don't really feel good fading them. And the total was like, wow, oh my God, wow. I was thinking about the Pelicans team total over, but when I looked at it, it was 233. Now it's 240.5.
Yeah, 240.5 is a wild total where it kind of makes me think with this spread and this total that this game's going to go into overtime.
Yeah. All right. Too much crazy stuff going on here. I'm going to pass. People liking the Pels first half. They have some life. I was thinking about the team total over before.
Shout out to Spoon's Bets in the chat. He says NCAA card today, Southeast Missouri, moneyline -115, St. Louis +10, and UTSA, San Antonio's finest +4.5. And Justin McElvey has the Pelicans over in this game, over 239.5 in his pocket. And Billy Friedger says Pelicans 2019 and 1 ATS first half of the season. Yeah, not as good as they used to be, but Trey Murphy has really been picking up the slack. DeJounte Murray also as well. He's going to be a very popular daily fantasy play tonight. See Ricky Bobby in the chat. He's on his points and assist prop. Even Zion's been playing really well. He just has been on that minutes limit. But I just really feel like the Bulls have played way over expectations. Granted, it's going to come down eventually, but maybe the Bulls are they have good players on the team.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. It's going to be a pass for me. All right. Next game. I'm sorry.
A pass. Definitely a pass. This is the one where probably get a live bet on whatever team goes up by 8 points in the live game, and you bet a couple player props so you make sure you tune on the game.
Okay, next game on the card, Sacramento and Milwaukee. Sacramento, of course, won 7 in a row straight up. They've covered not all of those, but most of them, and they're playing well with Doug Christie as the coach, right? Kind of has the team maximizing their potential more than Mike Brown did. So it's not really a surprise. I don't think it's fluky that they have been playing so well recently. In Milwaukee, they've just been bad ATS overall. They are off a 35-point loss against the Knicks as a 5-point dog. So maybe they're going to be super salty here. I don't know. This is a tough one. I don't feel comfortable fading Sacramento in any capacity right now, though. They're a very small dog here at Milwaukee. What do you think, Brizzy?
The Kings are one of the most interesting stories right now in basketball. I mean, firing their head coach and then having interim coach Doug Christie as a true players coach for everyone that remembers Doug Christie's wife on the original seasons of those reality TV shows. That bitch is crazy. But they have definitely gotten the upside from this team. Longest active NBA streak right now of 7 games. It's actually funny with that 7-game win streak that still puts them 9th in the Western Conference for standings this year. Head-to-head wise, the Kings won the last meeting in March, 129-94. Only reason why I'm bringing this up because prior to that meeting, the Kings have went 1-15 in their last 16 meetings versus Milwaukee. So it's one of those ones. Are you going to decide with the history here with Milwaukee, or are you going to go with the eye test? Because if you're going with the eye test, you got to think Sacramento has some value here. The Bucks are coming off of a 106 to 140 loss to New York. This team's always dropping weird spots. This is a front end of a back-to-back versus a Western Conference team that's coming in hot. I got to lean towards Sacramento, but not with a boat of confidence.
Yeah, this is a very, very well. Look at that, Justin McElvey taking Milwaukee minus 132 in his pocket. All right, I hope you cash. I'm going to stay off this, and I don't know if I'm seeing anyone who's taken Sacramento who would go against that. All right, I hope the Bucks win. It is a very scary situation. It has live and halftime written all over it, but pregame going to be a pass for me. Next game, here we go. Another interesting one. Denver, Dallas. They are playing. They're playing each other for the second time in a row. It's not a home and home. The first game was at Dallas. This one's at Dallas as well. And of course, Denver won that one. First game, they were about a 5-point favorite. They won by 10, and the total went way under the low 230s total. And Denver, they've been covered 7 out of the last 9. Dallas has been terrible ATS for a long time. So, and then of course Dallas decimated by roster issues right now. I don't know. I guess there's Dallas was up in that game, and then the class showed late, and Denver rolled. But I think Dallas was even up at halftime. They had a big lead at one point. I don't know. Maybe Dallas first half. It feels like with a full game, Denver probably rolls again, though. They're just better right now.
It feels like I'm overthinking this one a little bit here, as these two teams just played each other on Sunday, like you said, where Dallas blew that double-digit lead, and they kind of look like their depleted selves going 3-7 straight up and 2-8 ATS in our last 10 games. But Denver has finally gotten hot, going 7-3 straight up in their last 10 games. But the market is really the focus for me in this one.
Yeah.
All the money is coming in on Denver, but that line's still going down. Tells me that Kyrie should be back for this one. And this line's super short, super fishy and telling. I think you take Dallas plus 3.5 and live with the result.
Very weird. Yeah, it opened up. The first line I saw was 5. Now it's down to 3.5.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Dude, what do y'all know that I don't know? I'm just going to play.
Yeah. Someone thinks they know something. Dallas. Yeah, I don't know. Woo Rizzes says line makes 0 sense. He's saying Mavs money line Mavs first quarter money line. Nasty Nate Nuggets second half. Everyone trying to put a fine point on this. Man. AOD says Joker triple double. Jeez. Yeah, I was thinking even before the move, I was thinking maybe Dallas first half again.
Well, one common theme that I saw throughout today's card is there's a lot of road favorites on this card today. You got Oklahoma City, 11-point favorites, Cleveland, 8-point favorites, Phoenix, 5-point favorites, and Denver, 3.5-point favorites. Like, there's a lot of road favorites. And you got to remember, you're getting 3 less points on the line already because the team's on the road. So, like, what would these lines really be if they're at home?
Woo Riz is saying Mavs. All right, I would definitely leaning Mavs, but I'm going to wait because if this line flips and then it's like -6.5, half an hour before tip, then, something else is up aside from what's already up. So, he's talking about the
figure out what Kyrie's doing in this game. We probably won't get that information until like another hour and a half from now, like probably like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'll know.
All right, well, I'm leaning Mavs for sure, but at first half. But I'm going to hold off. I want to see if the line goes back the other way. And then the last game on the card, Brooklyn, the Nets, and Portland. And the Nets got a cover in their last game, OT game as a small dog. But before that, they were just losing ATS. And Portland, off a bad home loss. But before that, they had a nice run of covers.
Can you circle back to that Mavericks game? You are right about the spot. About how Denver is the worst first half ATS team coming off of getting blown out by double digits yet. I'm going to circle Dallas first half.
Yeah. Ooh, Rizza said just after that Mavs lost, they should be graceful. They should be ready to play. Yeah.
I think we got to emphasize what you said on that, Pete, because I think you are spot on. I think Dallas is the right spot in the first half.
Yes. All right. Okay, Brizzy. That's all you had to say. You're not gonna have to sell me on my own opinion that much more. I'll throw it on there. This is a handicapping show. All right, Dallas first half. I should probably take the money line at +127, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take +2, -110. I'll add that one on. Dallas first half +2, -110. All right, we'll see how it turns out. And then this Brooklyn-Portland game, I don't know. It's obviously a big bounce back spot for Portland after a bad home loss, 20-point home loss. As not a huge dog, they were just a 5-point dog, and they've been good ATS recently. So Portland, first line I saw was like 7 or so. Where is it right now? It's down to 5.5. All right, there you go. We'll see where it closes. Could easily come back. I was thinking Portland, but maybe not. I know there's roster issues for both teams right now. What's your take on this one, Brizzy?
Oddly enough, when you see 2 of the worst teams in the NBA, more times than not, you're going to want to pass. But I think there's value on the home favor here in this spot versus Brooklyn, man. There is no secret that the Nets are intentionally losing games right now in the battle of the tank for Cooper Flag. In their last game versus Utah, it was like the first time that we saw them play competitive for 4 quarters and for like a week and a half. They've been getting blown out. They returned from their road trip, their East Coast road trip in their last game, dropping the last one to Miami on Saturday. But it's a lot of time off, granted. And we've yet to see Portland in this big of a favorite role all season. And at home is where they played their best basketball. And they come into this one in good form, 5-2 ATS. I got to sit with it for, I guess, this is the last game of the card. So you can sit for this one a little bit. But, man, I got to roll with Portland, man. Like, tell me something I don't know. Why is now Portland is supposed to – I think Portland rolls in this spot. I think they win this game by double digits, man. Usually, like, if you're backing a team by, like, 6 or 7, you think that they're going to win by double digits. I really do think Portland's going to win by double digits here in this spot. Like, what have the Brooklyn Nets have done in the last month besides show that they're tanking for Cooper Flag? And I don't blame Cooper Flag. If you had a pick between the teams that are probably going to be having that top 5 pick, I'm picking Brooklyn all day long. Give me the Brooklyn. That seems like a live market. And Brooklyn knows that too. It's been a complete fire sale. I mean, they just traded back for D'Angelo Russell, who has a really good assist prop line tonight. 5.5 assists for D'Angelo Russell, sitting at -155. Granted, him and Ben Simmons are on the same team, but they actually used to play in the same team in high school, so they have played together before and the spacing won't be as big of a problem as the media will make it seem. I like D'Angelo Russell's assist prop, and I like Portland minus the 5.5 here.
Yeah. So why is it moving in Brooklyn's favor?
You know how the
ahead.
sharps are. The sharps are always gonna say, "Oh, the
Yeah.
bird, the lead. You gotta take the points."
Yeah. And they're right more than I'm right, but they're not right all the time. So I'm gonna take another shot here. Yeah, I'm gonna take Portland first half minus 2.5, minus 111. I'm gonna take that one. Portland first half minus 2.5, minus 111. We'll see how this turns out. Interesting game. I was leaning Portland for sure. Now that it could go back, this could easily close back at 7. Would not be surprised at all. In fact, I would almost expect it. All right. Looking at the comments section. Nothing really. No real. All right. So I'll review my NBA stuff. I have more official plays than normal in the NBA, and then you can review everything that you've given out, Billy Brisbane. I'm taking Cleveland first half -4, minus 115, and the team total over 59 minus 111. Dallas Mavericks first half +2 minus 110. Portland first half minus 2.5 minus 111. 4 plays. I think at least 3 of those cash, maybe all 4. Billy Brisbane, what are your official plays so far?
My favorite one of your plays are the Cleveland first half and Dallas first half. For myself, definitely like the OKC Philadelphia under 218. Player prop wise, Andrew Nembhard over 12.5 points. That line is going to move. That line is not closing at 12.5. And Portland minus 5.5. Totals wise, I like over 234 in the Phoenix Atlanta game. And favorite dog pick of the day would be either Sacramento or Dallas, man. One of those two, I think I'm going to get to the window with Sacramento or Dallas.
Okay. And Nutflush Allen recommending Portland first half team total over instead of just the spread. Well, it's good to see he's recommending something highly correlated with what I gave. Go ahead.
No, I'm just writing that down. First half team total over. Because I feel like with the NBA, in the first month of the new season, there's a lot of in and out parts where there's really not that much value betting the night before. You think you got a good little line at 4.5, and then you see the fucking 2:00 injury news report the next day, and just your random star is out. So I feel like the best time to bet the NBA is that first shoot around news, where you're gambling on who's in, who's out, or right before the game. Even though you're going to get the worst end of the line, at least you have the most information possible.
Yes.
It's kind of like you're getting the worst end of the line, but you're also paying for a lot more information. You also have the market, the injury news report, the starting lineup, which is everything in the NBA.
You get what you pay for. And I also do a lot of live and halftime stuff. And, a lot of times I miss pregame stuff that I would have gotten, but you're right. But then I also protect myself from pregame shenanigans. NBA, very interesting. All right, that's it for NBA on today's card. We got to do the college football game and college basketball. Hey, Jose Bouquett, pop in here for a second if you don't mind. Hey, Jose Bouquett. So what's going on? Are we covering college football now or college basketball with Brizzy and Dabby, or what's going on, baby?
We can touch college basketball first, and then we can talk national championship.
Okay. Is that going to be here for college basketball? Or just
last week, man. The last week's segment was Schmack, we had Pete giving out some Syracuse player props. JJ Starley had 20-something points. Gave out some winners last Tuesday. But I do have the Locker Room podcast today, so I might be getting on out of here, boys.
Oh, you can no problem at all.
Yeah, Locker Room podcast.
Thank you.
11 o'clock tonight, Locker Room podcast. Big pay-per-view tonight. Big pay-per-view this weekend. Intuit Arena. We're going down to the Clippers. Arena because we got some money to make inside the octagon. The boys are coming off a nice little parlay week. We only lost 1 out of 5 parlays. If you tailed all the parlays, you made over 3 units. So make sure you tune into the Locker Room podcast tonight. Hopefully we can put some cash in your pocket again.
Tune into that show.
Billy.
All right, so is Dabby Cab joining us today, or what's going on?
Yes, I believe he's going to be joining us here, ready to go here. And let's bring him on. He's been battling his internet, and God bless him, because we know how Dabby Cab gets when he's fighting his internet. So let's bring him on. The one, the only Dabby Cab to the program. Dabby, I'm glad you're here. Nice internet.
It's great when it messes up and there's nothing wrong. It's sunny outside. Makes no damn sense.
Well, it's nice to see you, Cab. Pete, by the way, again, that jacket. I mean, that jacket's literally radiating so much off the screen. It's blinding me off the screen right now.
I basically took one of those light deflectors that are on like the the AV equipment and just made a jacket out of it. I don't know. Dabby Cab. We gonna talk college basketball first? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can. I haven't made any bets yet because I haven't.
I did my deep dive analysis into about 2/3 of the card. I've made a few bets. I can tell you what they are, and we can just look at the comment section. There's a few of the big games that I didn't look at deeply, but a bunch of bets that I did make. Everyone, shout out! If there's any games you want to know about, I can comment on about 2/3 of them. Let us know what your plays are that you're liking, and I'll tell you what I bet. I did take a small shot with Villanova first half against Xavier. Villanova's coming off a big loss. Xavier's coming off a big road win. Xavier's good. So is Villanova. And as a small dog, I took Villanova first half, getting a point and a half. I also like Bowling Green against Buffalo. I like them first half and full game. The Marquette DePaul game is very interesting. Marquette's great, but they're not always covering. They're a lot of times too big of a favorite. But DePaul, I've gotten burned a little bit with them. I've been catching up with some of my losses with them, taking them second half where they do tend to come back. But they are like, they're not one of these teams that's like pretty good and then get blown out in the second half. They're getting blown out in the first half, and then the other team doesn't care. They come back a little bit. It's a bad freaking team. I took a shot with Ball State, getting a big number with Ohio, getting 11. Now it's down to 10. I like the first half more. I bet that one. Other games on the card, Texas A&M, Kentucky. That's a very interesting one. Pass for me. Very interesting one. That was a tough. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dabby.
I wouldn't bet that on the A&M side unless Wade Taylor's playing. And, he hasn't. I don't know how they went to Oklahoma and beat Oklahoma without him. I mean, they barely scraped by. But then, last game it showed not having him in the lineup.
Yeah, and Texas A&M is off of a tough game against Alabama. St. Louis VCU is interesting. Someone said that they like St. Louis, which is understandable. St. Louis has been great ATS recently. VCU very up and down, but they can easily get margin wins over teams like this. The Mississippi State Auburn game is interesting. I took Mississippi State first half. Auburn, of course, great, but they're missing their leading scorer. And I took a shot with Mississippi State first half.
That was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. Jeremiah Broome roll that ankle, man. I mean, I think they're saying it's officially a severe sprain, which is good news, but still at the same time, like that was hard to watch. I mean,
definitely sucks. The Illinois-Indiana game is very interesting. I think I like Indiana there. It's moving a little bit in Illinois' favor. Illinois is also they don't have their leading scorer, and he matters a lot. Indiana also has their leading scorer out, but he matters less, I think. Indiana's a dog. Adding everything up, all things being equal, I would definitely I think Illinois is a far superior team, but in this spot, I think I like Indiana getting a few points. Let's see what else is. Louisville-Syracuse game is very interesting. That's going to be a pass for me right now. Syracuse's second leading scorer is now out. I'd be leaning Syracuse, but I didn't bet it. And then the Mississippi-Bama game, I don't know, man. You tell me. Dabby Cab. Alabama, of course, coming off that big win against Texas A&M. I took Ole Miss first half.
I tell you what, Pete, I've been cashing on Ole Miss this year. They've cashed 3 of my 4 bets that I've made on them, so I'm a fan of this team. Alabama's like getting some serious spreads, man. I mean, this is a bigger. I guess they're back at home, but this is a serious spread against the Ole Miss team that's a competitor this year. So I don't, like I said, I haven't had a chance to deep dive it, but I don't have a problem with Ole Miss here. I'd like them also.
But it went from 9.5 to 12. I mean, Ole Miss is they're not an elite team, but they're definitely an excellent team. And Alabama just took a huge move, full game against them. I took a shot with Ole Miss first half, so I don't know. That's an interesting one, but it's interesting to see how the lines are moving. Let me just scan down the card here. I took Valparaiso at 7. Now it's down to 5.5. Belmont very 3-point heavy, and they have a lot of volatility. Valpo's coming off a loss, so I like Valpo at +7. I'd still like them at +6 where they are now. Look into it a little bit more, but think about taking Evansville first half, getting a big number against Northern Iowa. I forgot who it was. Someone said that he liked UTSA. UTSA, they're off of a big home win as a decent sized dog, and Rice off a couple losses. But I was thinking that might be a nice Rice spot. Southeastern Missouri State, I agree with, against Little Rock. And Texas Tech, Kansas State is very interesting. Kansas State is so overvalued, but Texas Tech is off that tough game where they lost in overtime against Iowa State. So it's not clear how they're going to bounce back. But those are all the games that I have bet and looked at and thought about. Dabby Cab, is there anything at all you want to shout out from the card at all? Or we can just move
Again,
on?
I haven't had a chance to bet anything yet. But Baylor, Arizona interests me, obviously. Both teams are starting to turn it around and play better basketball. But man, when I see that total for that game sitting at 148.5, I just think over, because even though both these teams are still playing better basketball, I think this is going to be a high scoring game between the two. So I think over, and I might take a chance with Baylor first half. Like I said, I really like the way they've looked the past couple games since that beating that they took against Iowa State at Iowa State. They bounced back pretty good against Cincinnati, winning by 20. And then I had Baylor first half against Arizona State, so they covered there for me also. So they're treating me good, Pete. So I might go back to Baylor first half against Arizona.
All right. Sounds good. Robert Franklin likes Texas A&M plus 6.5. I can certainly understand it, but it makes me nervous after that Bama game. Mississippi State plus 7.5. I agree with that. Again, I took that first half. A lot of people liking Villanova, which I agree with. I took them first half. Robert Franklin, Nova plus 3, and Sportsman of the Year likes Nova money line, Indiana money line, which I also agree with. And LSU money line, I have no opinion of right now. Okay, I'll look at the lines here and add a few official plays to my college basketball card. But of course, the reason you're here, Dabby Cab, is to talk Ohio State, Notre Dame. You know, Notre Dame, a huge underdog, of course. Well, not huge, but I mean, for this kind of a marquee game, a huge underdog. Ohio State absolutely rolling, all comers, covering by miles, ATS against elite teams. And Notre Dame, a great game against Penn State, but it could have gone either way, right? They were down at the half. They wound up squeaking by. Very, very impressive team, Notre Dame, but now they're going up against the best. Ohio State's laying 8. I really have no idea what I would do here. My brain says take Notre Dame plus 8, but my gut and heart say Ohio State is just too good, and at some point they roll and get up by double digits and keep it that way. What's your take on this game, Dabby Cab?
I think I'm in that same boat as you, and we talked about this one yesterday on the sesh. This is a Notre Dame defense versus Ohio State offense. It's the way I see it. But the more I talked about it yesterday, the more I thought Ohio State's defense doesn't get enough love. This might just be an under. Both of these defenses can play for real. And if Ohio State does get ahead by margin, I mean, I don't know about you, Pete, but I'm slowing the tempo down. I'm slowing the game down, right? I'm ending it. I'm getting the win, right?
Yeah.
Like we're seeing in the NFL, right? These putting up, 30 points in the first half and then 0 in the second half because these teams are just taking the time off the clock. And that's, if I'm Ohio State, I'm going to get a lead, whether it's, a 10-point lead or a 14-point lead, then I'm going to slow this thing down. And if I slow the game down enough, I don't trust Notre Dame to be explosive enough to just put the points up like that. So I think if this game's pace slows down, we go under. I think Notre Dame wants this to be a slow game, and Ohio State wants to get out ahead. So maybe I'd take Ohio State early and the under full game. But right now, I'm probably going to be betting the under. I have not bet it yet, but that's where my head's telling me.
Yeah, I mean, in the Penn State game, it was interesting. I, of course, gave the first half under, full game under. First half under cashed pretty easily. Full game under lost, and the total actually got bet up pretty significantly. Well, not a lot, but a point or two from 45. I forgot where it closed, but I was a little bit surprised to see the action come up. First half went under, and then of course second half everything kind of went a little bit chaotic. I maybe the first half under here. I'm just worried that Ohio State's offense will be so good that Notre Dame won't be able to stop them, but they should be able to, right? They should be able to stop them at least a little bit, right? No?
Yeah, Notre Dame's defense they're pretty. I mean, as good as Ohio State's offense is, Notre Dame's defense is the second best group on the field out of the 4 groups, and I don't think this is going to be a 45-20 something type game or a 40-30 game or even a 30-20 game. Honestly, Pete, I think we're looking at 24-10, 24-17. It's just something lower is where my head's at.
Something lower. Yeah. I just feel like it has 24 points written all over it. So if I take under 23 or 23 and a half, You know what I mean? This
Yeah,
has
no, I
this has Ohio. It says 14-10 Ohio State written all over it at the half. Maybe I should just bet that exact halftime score for like plus 5,000 or whatever.
Hey, there you go.
Ohio State 14. What the fuck is that? Sorry, Tate. Can you cut me off for a second, Jose Bouquett?
Is that a landline? Does Pete run a business in his house? I know you guys heard that ring.
Yeah, that's classic Pedro. That's classic here. Are you betting any player props in this, Cab?
In this game, I have not yet. Obviously, the one that people go back to a lot would be the Riley Leonard rushing prop. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Or you could take Smith on the Ohio State side as receiving prop. But I don't want props, though, if I'm leaning under. You know, when I look at a game and I think under, props aren't necessarily what I want to bet.
No, I think I'm going to probably join you on the under in this game as well. I do think Notre Dame, I honestly think Notre Dame is live in this game, but I just think this is going to be a muck it up kind of situation here as well and drag them into the floor. Obviously, Ohio State has all the talent in the world, but if you make this a 10-10 ball game entering the fourth quarter, you've got a shot. So
my problem is if Notre Dame's behind in the fourth quarter, Riley Leonard's going to mess up. I don't trust him at late in games. As good of a quarterback as he's been, I do not trust him at the end of the game. I just don't.
Pete, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Joseph Gomez saying that was the bat phone and Commissioner Gordon was calling you. So
some guy was calling up. He was like, "I'll offer you plus 20,000 on 14-10 exact score." And I was like, "Stop calling me in the middle of my show, you fuck." Oh man.
Man.
But I don't have the balls to buy up to 24 at minus 140 or whatever. This has 14-10 Ohio State at the half written all over it. And then what happened? If that happened, Dabby Gab, if you knew for a fact that it's 14-10 Ohio State at the half with no crazy plays or interceptions or fumbles or anything, what would you then expect second half? You would expect Notre Dame to make adjustments and maybe threaten to win, or you expect Ohio State to just run away and then wind up winning?
Ohio State to get up by one more score and then the game to slow down and go under.
Right.
Yeah, 14-10 wouldn't scare me too much. If I'm on the under full game and I'm at 14-10, that's, like I said, Ohio State gets a little bit of the lead and then they slow this thing down.
Okay. I would love to take a shot with under 23 and a half or 24 at minus 140, but I got to. It's the last game. It's the last game on the friggin' thing, right?
Yep.
24 minus 140. Should I do that? I mean, why not? All right, I'll take that. I'll make that my final official play. My final official play. Ohio State, Notre Dame, first half under 24 minus 140. I could get 23 and a half at like minus 120 or minus 118, but it's just got 24 written all over it. So I'll take that. For my actual bet, I'll probably do half that and half 23 and a half, minus 115 or so. Kongs Clips, I'm on Louisville, Indiana, and Kentucky college basketball tonight. Yeah, I'm on Indiana as well. I like Indiana. The Kentucky game, that is a tough one. And then Louisville, I don't know, man. That is just
I mean, I can't.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I can't. Like I said, there's no way I could get behind A&M without Wade Taylor, on the road versus Kentucky. Right. That being said, A&M beat Kentucky both times they played them last year, but and I'd have to double check, but I almost guarantee you they had Wade Taylor both times.
And they're off a really tough game. And the Louisville game, yeah, I mean, I've had a good read on Syracuse here and there overall on the year, but also other times I haven't. And they've got their second leading scorer out now. And Louisville, of course, great ATS right now, covering everything. But that's a huge home line. That is a disrespectful line for Syracuse. Wow, your second leading scorer is out. Bam, 8 points. Holy, at home. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, a disrespectful line. But Kongs Clips thinks it's not big enough. Kongs Clips, like out for Louisville this year, they look really good. Yes, Louisville Dogs. Justin McElvey calls for Syracuse outright. But there you go. There you go. Okay. I think that's it for the show. A nice, short and sweet show, right, Dabby Cab?
Yeah. Hey, you guys got good NHL, good NBA. Next week I'll have we don't have college football, so next week we'll have college basketball loaded.
Yeah.
You and I'll be ready to go, Pete.
The more I look at it, it's like, Texas A&M and Kentucky -6, on a neutral spot with both teams healthy and equal rest, that'd be a great matchup. But with the scorer out and coming off the Alabama game and Kentucky, it might be one of those games where at the end, Texas A&M realizes they can't win and Kentucky just really runs away with it. Maybe like Kentucky minus 11.5 on a big plus line might even be worth a shot,
Yeah, because I would agree with that at the plus line, because I don't think it's either going to be like a 14, 15, 20-point win for Kentucky, or A&M's going to bring it down to the last shot. I don't see this. Yeah. So
look at that. You get
doing it without Wade Taylor. I'm shocked they were able to beat Oklahoma, and they only beat them by 2 points at Oklahoma. I'm shocked they did that without Wade Taylor.
Kentucky -6, -111 at this site I'm looking at here, -8 plus 120. I'd much rather have that.
Yeah.
-8 plus 120. Cons Clips, who gave us Notre Dame in the last game. I mean, it was close. But here he goes. Hammer Notre Dame plus the points.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'm going to use that in my contests. I should have in my contests. I used Notre Dame in one, and then I used Penn State in the other one. And I was like, I cannot. It was just when the market, they became a favorite. They closed as a favorite. You know what I mean? It flipped. Penn State -1.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, I'll use Penn State in one of these contests. Of course, it lost. I was like, how am I doing this? How am I going against Cons Clips? I'm not going to do it this time, Cons, baby. Cons Clips, baby. Congratulations on your daughter getting accepted to Indiana. Wow, what a great time to be alive and young and educated. I'm going to use Notre Dame plus the points in my contest, +8. Wow. And their defense will keep them in the game. Yeah. It just Ohio State has rolled over everyone. So if they don't roll over Notre Dame, that'll be the first elite team they haven't rolled over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. And like you said, Notre Dame could have easily lost last week.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Okay. Great show. Dabby Cab, thanks so much. And we'll talk again next week.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Pete. I love doing this with you guys. Everybody in the chat, we love you guys. I'll see y'all next week.
Jose Bouquett.
Peter Loshak.
That's it for the show. Is there anything else we want to shout out or mention or talk about?
Is there anything you want to shout out, Pete? You always ask me, what do you want to shout out?
Well, as always, I implore you to talk to your doctor about Rybelsus.
Sure.
It's a great drug. Also PrEP. I highly recommend that. Talk to your doctor about PrEP. Talk to your doctor about Rybelsus. There's a new irritable bowel syndrome drug that's out. I've seen the ads for that. Looks really good. I'll
IBS is a
name
bitch.
and I'll tell you about that one too.
Sure.
Whole bunch of.
I could see you being like a traveling. I could see you being like a traveling pharmaceutical salesperson. Yeah, I could see it. Just going into doctor's offices, be like, guys, I've got it. I've got it here. It's all about Ozempic.
They actually do have that. They have salesmen who go not to people but to doctors. Yeah. They literally do. It's a huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you doing it. That's your next career. If this whole handicapping thing doesn't work out, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I know what I could do.
And if some doctor tries to get lippy with me and pulls out his, MD or his PhD or whatever, talk about I'm a doc, I'll be like, shove that up your ass.
How about that? Have you ever picked 60% against the spread? How about that?
Yeah, exactly. No, medical school is hard, but picking 60% against the spread in a big sample size in a major market, yes, is harder. It certainly
and
is.
Publicly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pete, and publicly, of course. Absolutely.
I guarantee, Pete, there are more doctors in the world than people that have gone 60%
no question about it.
Sports picks.
Who impresses me more? Some dermatologist or Cons Clips and Troy Torrance and people like not even close. It's not even close.
Yeah. Give me Kongs Clips. Shout out to you, Kongs, by the way. Go Hoosiers.
Absolutely. All right. And Spoon's Money says, we'll end on this one. Yeah. Spoon's Money, Southeast Missouri State. I agree with that. St. Louis +10. It scares me, but I agree with it. St. Louis is great right now. It's just VCU. No, you're right. I mean, St. Louis, I should probably bet it. And he likes UTSA +4.5, calling Rice a big fraud. Thank you for that. I will look into that more, and I will probably hold off on my Rice bet. Huge shout out to Spoon's Bets for his college basketball picks and advice and analysis. Jose, go watch UTSA basketball game. Austin Clunch will turn this program around.
Yeah, shout out to Clunchy.
Super True Story says, Loshak, anything on North Texas, Carolina? Yeah, half or live bet. But if you gave me a free play pregame, yes, I would throw it on East Carolina getting points. But there's no way I would bet. I would fade North Texas right now with money. They are, ECU's decent. They're playing kind of close to their spreads. North Texas off 2 nice covers. I wouldn't want to fade that. Free bet, I'd throw it on East Carolina and might have a halftime or live bet on that game. Oh, and here we go. Kong's Clips with more comments. Kong's Clips liking Notre Dame getting 8. Okay, great show, everyone. We'll see you again next Tuesday.